Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Georgia. I hope you're well. Welcome to another 24-hour readathon. So it is currently the Easter weekend for me and I don't work Thursday, so I've got the next 5 days off work and I thought what better to do than sit and read for 24 hours. So my plan is to literally just sit and read for the next couple of days, and I have got my April TBR in front of me to use as sort of like a guide, but I am just going to mood read as well. So if you've watched my previous 24-hour readathons, I do them split into 8, 8 and 8 because once it hits the sort of 8-hour mark, I'm not concentrating anymore, I'm not taking any of it in, my dyslexia is so much worse and I just can't read. So I tend to do mine split into 8, 8 and 8. So I have my iPad to put my timer on. We have the April TBR. I'm going to use this as a guide, but equally I am going to mood read. So if there's anything else that I want to read more, I will just pick it up because I can. But I do want to sort of prioritise my April TBR just because I want to complete one. I still haven't completed a full TBR within the month. We're going to get comfy on the reading chair today, sitting here for the next couple of hours until my dad picks me up for lunch. And yeah, we're just gonna get going. We're just gonna get started. Let's jump straight in, but first, let's go and make a nice cold drink. So we now need to pick our starting book and get ready. I've got my timer set up ready on here. I just haven't set it going yet, obviously, because we need to pick our first book first. Let's pick our first one. I think I'm probably going to start with Darling Daffodil Farms, if I'm honest, because it's sunny out and I don't think it's going to be sunny tomorrow, so I do kind of want to read this today. This one is set in sort of like spring, and obviously we have just come into April, so I feel like this is just the perfect time to read this one. When aspiring pastry chef Tally Darling returns home to her family daffodil farm, the last thing she expects to find is a hot, half-naked farmhand living in her childhood bedroom and running her late daddy's business. Jesse Walker might be gorgeous, but he's also infuriatingly grumpy. Walker has no time for Tally, and the feeling is mutual. That is until Tally hears him moan over one of her signature caramel honey cupcakes, and then discovers how good it tastes when they kiss. As dewy April days turn into warm May evenings, Walker and Tally soon realise that there's a thin line between love and hate. But will their budding connection grow into something that lasts beyond one season? I am so excited about this. I think it's going to be such a lovely little setup. So we have that sort of like ranch style life. It's not enemies to lovers, but a dislike to love situation. And I am beyond excited. So let's just jump straight into this one, I think. Okay, so I've just paused the timer on 22 hours and 33 minutes and 44 seconds. That is actually so satisfying. So I'm on chapter 12 of this book and we are basically like an hour and a half of the way through. I'm going to be honest, I don't feel like I'm loving this book right now. It's okay, I'm just not having a great time and I'm just feeling a bit like if you just sit down and have a conversation, this could all be sorted. Lots of miscommunication and them both keeping secrets and being weird with each other, and it's just kind of like, be grown-ups, have a conversation and this could all be resolved. She's just got home to her family ranch and it's sort of, he's running the ranch and she doesn't know why, but everyone's being sort of suspicious about it. Her mum's not really telling her much, he's not telling her much. And her sister's pretty much as out of the loop as she is. So like her mum and the new ranch hand are basically just being quite suspicious and weird, and like now she's making poor choices and it's just going to backfire, and I don't know. I'm not loving it. I'll be honest, I'm not loving it at all. It's fine. The writing style's easy. I have found a couple of like errors in the book as well, and like punctuation where there shouldn't be, and like no spaces, and there's been a few of those that I feel like are taking me out of it a little bit as well. So far I'm not loving this, which is quite sad. We'll give it time, obviously. We're like less than 100 pages in, so we've not had much of the actual story yet, and I'm sure it'll get more into that soon, but at the minute there's just a lot going on that I'm like, you're all idiots. Not loving our first book so far, but I'm actually going to go and get changed because my dad's actually going to be here to pick me up in about 10 minutes. So I'm going to go and get changed, ready to go out, and then I'll be back to you when I'm back from lunch and have some more updates for this book. So as with every single one of my reading challenges that I have ever done ever, it's now gone to shit. I went out for lunch with my dad and we had a really, really lovely time, and I am now here 4 hours, 5 hours later, to continue with my reading challenge. So for me to do my 8 hours maximum today, I am going to be going to like midnight now. So yeah, so we're just going to crack on and continue reading. So I'm going to be starting back on at chapter 12 and I will give you guys an update later. Let's just jump straight back into this read, shall we? Let's go. So I'm on chapter 31 of this book. I still don't really know how I feel about this book. I feel like my feelings on this one are swapping and changing so often. I sit there like, this is annoying me now. And then I'm like, oh, this is really cute and I'm having a really fun time. And then I'm like, ugh. I feel like a lot of their reactions are frankly just annoying. So like, we've been like drip fed information about it, but our main female character has no idea, and like, I feel like her reactions to some things are just so childish. They can't really have a conversation about it because of the contract that's in place. So like, I understand why they're not just having a conversation, and she sort of accepted that they can't have a conversation about it. But at the same time, like, there's better ways of going about it, and the second something doesn't go her way, she just like has a tantrum about it. And he's just like, oh, alright, yeah, fine. And he just sort of like rolls over rather than being like, stop being a child. Their reactions to some things are starting to piss me off, but equally I really like the sort of story we've got going on. I like the sort of community that we're a part of, the side characters, and I can see what other sort of couplings we're going to get going forward in this series, and I am enjoying that side of things. But I am going to go make some dinner and then we will continue on with this book. We still have a lot of reading to do today. I'm planning on doing at least another 4.5 hours today. So I have just finished this here book. It is currently 11:45. I don't even know how this has happened. I still have 17 hours and 19 minutes to go. I don't know what's happened there. But anyway, I have just finished Darling Daffodil Farms by Brittany Nicole. I have sort of mixed feelings towards this one. I think I've kind of said all of my issues with this one already. The writing style is really easy to read, but there are definitely quite a few errors in this book that make it harder and that sort of break the flow. Our main female character, Tally, did piss me off for like the first half of this book, and her reactions to things I just thought were quite childish, to say she's older than me. But the actual romance was really sweet. The third act conflict didn't happen how I was sort of expecting it to happen. That was really nice and was dealt with nicely, and I think that that was sort of like a realistic way for that to have fallen, but at the same time was sort of like they kind of got out of that quite easily in a possibly unrealistic way. So I don't know. I'm going to settle on a 3-star for this one. I think I haven't been as obsessed with it as I wanted to be. I think the setup is really sweet. I really like the town. I'm looking forward to more books from this series and from this author, and like I will continue with it. But my main issue with this book was her character. Don't know, she just annoyed me. That is our first read complete. Like I say, we do still have 17 hours and 19 minutes to go. But I'm not going to pick up anything new tonight. I'm not going to concentrate on it enough, so I am just going to call it a day and just start this again tomorrow and hopefully have a more productive day. So I will be back in the morning and we will choose a book together then. So good night and I will see you tomorrow. Good morning, welcome to day 2 then of our 24-hour readathon. On the timer we have 17 hours and 19 minutes remaining. So we are making good progress. I didn't get anywhere near as much done yesterday as I'd hoped, and I've got a feeling today's going to be the same because I'm now going to my nan's for tea tonight. I'm going to take us some tea. So let's choose our second book then. So we've done sort of the country romance vibe. I think I'm feeling fantasy, which means my options are pretty much The Night and the Moth or City of Ashes. But I have got a headache and I am extremely tired, so I think I'm going to go for City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare. This is a reread for me anyway. So this is book 2 in the Mortal Instruments series by this author, and I absolutely love this series so much. I haven't read it since I was like 16, but obviously I read book 1 probably mid last year at this point and really enjoyed it. It's just so nostalgic. It's like that 2010s fantasy romance that like was so popular then. So we've got the black cherry candle on the go. Our drink is refreshed. Let's just jump straight in with this one. Let's just crack on for day 2, shall we? So starting on 17 hours and 19 minutes. Let's jump straight in. Currently just doing my nails whilst I audio this book, but I'm on about 14 hours remaining and I'm on chapter 10, which is 43% of this one. So we're making good progress. Enjoying this one. I love it. I love the series anyway. It's a known goodie for me. Can't really tell you much about the happenings of this one because obviously it's book 2 in a series and I don't want to give you guys any spoilers. So far so good. I am really enjoying it. It's always just a really fun, easy read. I'll be back to you guys later on with my final nails and probably final thoughts on this book as well. So let's just keep reading. I'm having a good day so far. Feeling good. So we have 10 hours and 49 minutes remaining on the timer, and I have just finished The City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare. So I really enjoy these books. I think they're so much fun. They are YA. Our main female character is only like 18. There's a bit of like a love triangle situation. There's lots of drama. I forgot how much drama was actually packed into book 2. I feel like I've read book 1 so many times and I've watched like the beginning of the series so many times, and then there is also a film for book 1 that like I know the happenings of book 1 so well that I'd forgot how much drama was packed into book 2. I obviously can't tell you very much about the happenings. I don't want to give you guys any spoilers, but I do highly recommend this. It is YA. There's not really much spice. There's a bit of that teenage drama. I'm not going to say much else on this one. Really easy writing. The only thing I don't love about Cassandra Clare's writing is the chapters are so big, and I much prefer like short, snappy chapters. I feel like you're reading quicker when they're short, but that's fine. All in all, a really enjoyable read, a really enjoyable series. It's taken everything in me not to jump into book 3 of this series, but we're going to be good and hold out. Book 2 completed. I'm going to leave it here for now. I'm going to go and have tea with my nan, and then I will probably do a couple of hours when I get home later. We'll decide on a book when I get back. So for now, I'm going to go and have some dinner with my nan, and I will come back to you guys later on with our next book. Okay, so it's currently 10:15 and we've only just got back from my nan's, but we had the most amazing time. We took us some enchiladas. We just sit and yapped for like 3.5 hours and it was absolutely great. Now it's time for us to pick our third book for this video. We've got 10 hours and 49 minutes remaining, so I am hoping to read like near enough 2 full books in the time that we've got left. I don't think I'll complete 2 books, but I want to give them a good go. We've had a romance and a fantasy so far. I have got these 2 romances that I do think I'd want to get to within this video. So we've got The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez, and we've got The Score by Elle Kennedy. So we've got like a sport romance one, and we've got, I think this is like a boyfriend's best friend sort of situation. I do really want to read both, and I do think I'll read both anyway, so it's just deciding which one I want to read first, isn't it, to be fair? I think I'm going to go for this one. So we're going to give this one a go. So just to read you the back. In everyone's life, there's a split-second decision that changes everything. For Larissa, it came when choosing which guy to ride home with after a concert. That night, she had no idea she'd met the perfect man. She and Chris are great together, co-parenting a slightly unhinged rescue Yorkie, sharing their favourite books and judging bread. For the first time, after all her side hustles to scrape by, things finally feel easy. But Chris isn't the one who drove her home all those months ago. Chris is her boyfriend's best friend. All Chris wants is for Larissa to be happy. Standing on the sidelines is slowly killing him, but making a move would destroy someone else. How can something that feels so right be absolutely impossible? I think we're going to have a lot of drama in this one. I think this one's going to be interesting, to say the least. So let's just jump straight in and get this one read, shall we? Let's go. Good morning, welcome to our third and final session. I'm determined to get these last hours done today, and I am locking in. We are getting this finished today. 8.5 hours on the timer. I am halfway through this book and I am ready to just get locked in and get this book finished. I am enjoying this one. It's a very sort of strange setup. So we're following our main female character Larissa. She went on like a night out or to a concert with her friend. On this night out she bumped into a group of these guys, and these guys are the friendship group that we see in book 1, which is Say You'll Remember Me. We follow our main female character Larissa, and she goes home that night with one of the guys called Mike. He takes her home, but Mike and Chris were both offering to give her a lift home. Her and Mike have then been seeing each other. Mike basically just isn't very reliable. Chris basically ends up having to cover in for Mike quite a lot. We are then following this all sort of unfolding. So Mike constantly puts her in danger, and Chris is like starting to get very protective over our main female character Larissa. We have Larissa's and Chris's POV in this, so we're following those 2 characters, and Mike is sort of like just there causing problems. It is a really nice book. I really feel for Chris. You can see how much he cares about Larissa and how much he's sort of hating seeing his friend do the things that he's doing. It is a really difficult setup and a really difficult sort of relationship that we've got going. So I'm going to keep reading. Like I said, we've got 8.5 hours on the timer. I just want to get locked in. I'm going to put my headphones on. I'm going to put my phone away. And then we are just going to lock in and get this done. Let's go. So we've got 6 hours and 20 minutes remaining, and I have just finished The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez. Enjoyed this one more than I thought I would. I just think, like, it's a really hard one to sort of explain my feelings around. I really feel for Mike. He's clearly got a lot going on. He's got a lot of struggles and he doesn't really know how to deal with them. But then equally, as much as he needed people around him in those times of struggles, the way he was going about it was hurting a lot of other people. So, like, I get it. With Larissa's and Chris's pasts and their upbringing and their trauma, it makes sense why they found that comfort in each other and why they sort of like bonded the way that they did. All in all, I did enjoy this one. I'm really struggling on a rating for it. I love Abby Jimenez's writing and I don't think I've rated any of her books under a 4. This one is probably around the 4 mark. It didn't give me the 5-star feelings that I was hoping for. I think I'm probably going to settle on a 4 for this one. Like I said, it was fun. I enjoyed it. It was very classic Abby Jimenez in that, like, there's always that fun, flirty banter and that heartfelt struggle and the emotions and the hardships that each character faces while still keeping it light enough to be fun and enjoyable. And I like how it all played out in the end. I do think it was dealt with very nicely, and sort of like the friendships and how that all group dealt with it all, like, was understandable, and I can see why a lot of things happened how they did. So all in all, I really enjoyed this one. So we have 6 hours and 20 minutes left. I do think I'm going to go and make myself a drink. And then I think I'm going to pick up The Score by Elle Kennedy. My headphones did die earlier, so I put them on charge. So I think I'm just going to pop my headphones on and then settle into this one and get this one read. I love Elle Kennedy's writing. I love this series anyway. I really enjoyed these characters in the first 2 books. And we are finally getting Dean's story, which makes me very, very happy. So I will quickly read you what this one's about. He knows how to score on and off the ice. Ellie is in crisis mode. With graduation looming, she still doesn't have the first clue about what she's going to do after college. To make matters worse, she's nursing a broken heart thanks to the end of her long-term relationship. Wild rebound sex is definitely not the solution to her problems, but gorgeous hockey star Dean De Laurentiis is impossible to resist. Just once though, because even if her future is uncertain, it sure as heck won't include the king of one-night stands. It takes more than flashy moves to win her over. Dean always gets what he wants. Girls' grades, girls' recognition, girls. He's a ladies' man alright. And he's yet to meet a woman who's immune to his charm, until Ellie. For one night, the feisty blonde rocks his entire world, and now she wants to be friends? Nope. It's not over until he says it's over. Dean is in full-on pursuit, but when life-rocking changes strike, he starts to wonder if maybe it's time to stop focusing on scoring and shoot for love. Dean has just been that proper funny friend all throughout the series so far, so I'm really looking forward to seeing him sort of like settle down and change his ways. He's the one that's always having like 2 girls in the corner and like openly has sex in the middle of the living room and things like that. So like I think it's going to be really strange seeing him sort of change his ways. And I want to say we have actually met Alia. Was she Hannah's, the girl from book 1's roommate or something? Or was in her classes or something like that? I can't entirely remember, but I'm looking forward to seeing this. So let's just go and make a drink and jump straight in. 6 hours and 20 minutes remaining. Let's see if we can get this one finished. Let's go. So, I've just got to chapter 17 of this book and we still have, I've not even paused it, 4 hours and 1 minute left on the timer. I'm absolutely flying through this, I feel like. It's so easy reading. I feel like all Elle Kennedy books are just so easy to like fly through. And I am immersive reading this as well, which obviously makes it that little bit quicker, or it does for me anyway. I am enjoying it. I think that Ellie and Dean's story is a lot of fun. Ellie's literally just broke up with a boyfriend and it's been sort of like an on and off relationship for like 3 or 4 years. It's basically been her entire college experience. They have just broken up and she's trying really hard to sort of like move on and get him to leave her alone, and he doesn't really want to. She ends up going to stay with Hannah's boyfriend's flatmates for the night just to try and escape her ex-boyfriend, because he's like, I'm going to come over. Ends up going over to the frat house that all the lads live in and basically ends up having a bit of a one night stand with Dean. After this one night stand, they sort of agreed that nobody could know about it. Hannah would eat Dean alive for what he's done for sleeping with her and things, and it's basically just following them sort of navigating this new thing. So like they both had like a really good time. Dean is sort of like taken aback because he doesn't want to sleep with anybody else since his night with Ellie, and it's them sort of just navigating that. So it's a lot of fun. We're sort of following their external issues as well. So like Hannah's got her own thing going on. Dean's sort of having a bit of a crisis on what he wants to do with his life going forward. His family are all big shot lawyers, and equally doesn't really think he's going to have a big shot in like ice hockey either. So we're just sort of following them navigate all of this, and it's just fun. These books are just so fun and easy to get lost into, and I'm having a really good time. So I'm literally just going to crack on. I do think I'm probably going to finish this before the timer, so I don't know what I'm going to do after that, because I feel like I'm going to have like an awkward amount of time after the timer's gone off. So we're just going to keep reading and see how we go. But I've done like, what, 2 hours and 20 minutes so far, and I'm halfway through, which is really quick for me. So I'm just going to keep reading, and I'll come back to you guys later with my final sort of thoughts and feelings. What? What? Oh my god. Okay, I had like plans on what the other series was about and like who one of the books was going to be about, but apparently not. What? I'm so confused. I'm just going to keep reading. Let's figure out what this is about, shall we? Okay. I have just finished The Score by Elle Kennedy. I don't feel like I loved this one as much as I've loved like book 1 and 2, but I don't know why. I was kind of worried that the third act conflict was going to be a bit of like a miscommunication sort of issue, and it wasn't. It was something really different and like really sad, as you could see from my reaction. I don't know. I feel like it was resolved well. I feel like sort of the reactions on both parts were sort of valid, sort of not. I don't want to give you any spoilers, so I'm kind of trying to be quite brief about my thoughts and feelings. I don't know. I feel like, again, it was a really easy one to get lost in and just a really quick read. I mean, I feel like I've thrown through this. It's been like, what, 5 hours, which is really quick for me, and I were immersive reading. I don't know. I feel like I'm a little bit disappointed in that, and I don't know why. It was fun, it was spicy, it was easy, but I just feel a bit like, cool. Nothing like super memorable, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm going to settle on like a 3.5 rating for this one. Like I said, I did enjoy it. It was easy. It just was nothing like mind-blowing. It's probably the best way of sort of explaining my thoughts on this. So I'm going to settle on a 3.5, I think. It was fine. So that is our 4th book completed. I have got an hour and 42 minutes left, and I don't really want to start anything big, but I did want to have a look at the sort of like reading order for all the Haunting Adeline books, because I've got Satan's Affair, which is like, what, 150 pages, and I'm a bit like, I reckon I could smash that out in an hour and 42. Because I feel like I was told that I need to, yeah, Satan's Affair is the prequel. So do I read that? I think I might read that. So this is Satan's Affair. It is absolutely teeny, and it's sort of like a prequel to the Haunting Adeline duet. But then, like, where do you read Phantom? Because I think that can be read before or after. Can be read before or after the duet, though some suggest reading it before for context. I'm just going to read this. I feel like this is getting real confusing real quick, so I think I'm just going to read this. I think we're just going to go for it. I don't actually know what this series is about, other than the fact that it's a dark romance and there are some questionable happenings with a gun and pleasure. That's literally all I know about this series. So just to read the back of this one, it just says, every Halloween, Satan's Affair will come to you. They travel the country offering terrifying haunted houses, thrilling rides and the tastiest food. And with every passing town, I cleanse this world one execution at a time. I hide within the walls, casting my judgment on those who reek of evil, singing lullabies to their rotting souls. Once you've been chosen, there's no escaping my henchmen. They cater to my every desire. You can run and you can hide, but it only excites me. Come take a walk through my dollhouse, where your screams will blend and your cute little pleas will go unanswered. But I can promise it will be over quickly. I am intrigued. That sounds all sorts of fucked up and I'm kind of excited about it. This one was actually a gift from Amy Hale. Love, love, love these books. Enjoy, from Amy Hale. So thank you, Amy. That's very sweet of you. Thank you ever so much. This is quite the list. So, do you know what? Should we just jump straight in? Let's see if we can smash out this book in 1 hour 42. I am intrigued. Let's go. So I've got like just 3 minutes left roughly on the timer, and I've just took my finger out of the book because I'm a muppet, but I just got to chapter 8 of this book and I'm actually really struggling to read it. I don't know if it's just because I'm tired or like the font is quite slim and a bit weird, and I don't know if my eyes are just really struggling to focus on it, but I feel like it's ruining my experience in a book that I could really enjoy. So I do think I'm going to soft DNF this. I do want to come back to this, I just don't feel like right now is the right time. It is very dark and very messed up, and I think it's something I'd rather read on my Kindle just because of the font really messing with my eyes. Our final book, book number 5, I am actually going to soft DNF. So that is the 24 hours of reading. We've had 4 relatively good books, 2 that I would say I enjoyed more than the other. Well, no, I did enjoy them all, to be fair. I do feel like this has been a successful readathon in terms of like the books I've picked up. Obviously none of the days have really gone to plan for me, but we have finished it in the 3 days like I said I would. I wanted to do 8, 8 and 8, which completely went out the window, but success. I have finished it in the 3 days like I hoped. All in all, a successful time. We've done The Darling Daffodil Farm, we've done City of Ashes, we've done The Night We Met, and we've done The Score, and all 4 books I have enjoyed, some a little bit more than others. I'm going to leave it there and stop rabbiting on. I'm going to go and get in bed because I am knackered. I hope you all have had a lovely Easter, because by the time you see this, Easter will be done. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And as always, my social media, my Amazon, my Goodreads and my business email are all in the description bar below. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope you will, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.